High in Alaska's remote, uninhabited Chugach Mountains, glaciers grind rock to powder. These great masses of ice give birth to the Copper River, home to some of the most flavorful, most nutritious salmon on Earth. Flowing through an unspoiled watershed, this wild river provides ideal habitat for salmon that are the world's richest in heart-healthy omega-3 oils. The long, torturous swim up the Copper is one of the world's most strenuous salmon migrations. It's a journey that can only be accomplished by an extraordinary creature.
The Copper River is about 286 miles from the mouth to the headwaters. The Copper River Glacier is pretty much the headwaters of the Copper River, and then there's multiple tributaries feeding into it. So these fish have a pretty long journey ahead of them, and they have a very high oil content, and that just makes them a delicious salmon.
It's well known, sort of the physiology of those fish, that they have a long haul up the river, so therefore they're loaded with oil, flavorful oil, that good omega-3 oil. They're ocean bright, they're switching gears for that long trip upriver where they don't feed, and they just are conserving every bit of flavor and oil that they've got.
These wild fish acquire their formidable strength by consuming natural foods at sea.
Reds eat a lot of what we call krill plankton, crab larvae. They also eat small minnows, algae, things like that. King salmon, they're high-level predators. Herring, capelin, hooligan. They love shrimp. That's what gives them part of their color.
It's been managed for sustainability since before statehood.
We have achieved some of the highest harvest levels in the last 10 years in the history of this fishery, and we've also achieved some of the highest escapement goals in the history of this fishery within the last 10, 15 years. My first season here, we shut down this fishery for 17 days to achieve escapement. Of course, you know, these folks are here to make their livelihood. In the end, 5 years from now, when those broodstock, their progeny is returning, they'll be fishing.
This is good work. You're making food. I mean, how much more honorable could you have a job? You know, you're feeding people, and it's good food, really, really good food.
The future is now. The future is every year, making sure that the escapement gets up the river, that the market is there, that the market's served, that we're doing the right things, keeping it up to the top standards that we know we've already set the pace on.
River fish are caught over an extended time period. They're caught in smaller amounts, but mostly it's the fish. Fish go a long way. They're very high in oil content. They're, well, I don't know, they're just better for tasting fish than any fish I've eaten anyplace else.
It's an incredible product, and it's American made. I love it.
Make sure it's wild. Make sure that it's from Alaska.
Copper River salmon, Alaska's finest. Wild, natural, delicious, sustainably harvested by family fishermen.